Good?
Ready to go?
Fuck yeah. All right, welcome back, guys. Another episode of 10 Plus 1. I'm Corey Blanc.
And I am Christopher Knox.
What we got today, man?
Today, this hot Friday, we're doing one-hit wonders.
One-hit wonders.
Yes.
Episode 12.
Episode
today.
12.
Yeah.
12th one. It's you and me this week. And yeah, we're going to go through our favorite one-hit wonders, or some of our favorites at least. When I was thinking about it, there was way too many favorites.
Yeah, dude. Like, when you start really thinking about the
Yeah.
one hits, and there's so many of them
Yeah. And then there were a lot.
that you kind of forget about.
Well, so many I forgot about. And then there were a lot that I was like, oh, that's a one-hit wonder. And then I thought about it for a while. I was like, actually, no, they had more than one. So in my head, I kind of put like was it on the the regular radio or like MTV, like regular, not like 120 minutes per se, but like regular
Like
prime
TRL.
time.
Yeah. Because the definition, what we looked up, it said has to be in the top 20. That's like what the music industry decides.
Yeah.
But it could just
some of
be
mine may not have been top 20, but
could have been just popular culture too.
They were all definitely at least like regular play for a couple months. And yeah, I'm excited. So all the usual stuff. We're on Spotify. If you have the Spotify Premium, you'll be able to hear the whole song. And if you have the free Spotify, then you'll only hear like 30-second snippets. And then on YouTube, we can't play the music, but we have links to all the songs on Spotify.
And you get to see our pretty faces.
And you can see these mugs, man. I mean, come on. Speaking of mugs, broke out the margs today.
Yeah, frozen margaritas. Did it, 100 degrees today, pretty much?
Yeah,
like,
about 100.
Heat index over 100, probably.
Yeah, and we were forging all day. I was forging in the morning. I burnt my hand.
Yeah.
I had a piece of mill scale.
Ooh, you got that?
Up into my glove.
Yep.
Like 1 in a million shot. I was like, are you kidding me? And I couldn't get my glove off, so it was like just like
I've got a scar right there. Still here. It's about the size of a pencil eraser.
Yeah.
Mill scale popped under the glove. Shake it off. Can't get the glove off fast enough. And then I pulled the glove off, and it just had burnt and like sunk down into the skin.
Yeah, that's it. I got like a shape of it in there.
You just had to take it out.
Yeah, it was pretty. I was like, man, it was all slow motion too. Like I saw it fly up.
Yeah.
And I moved my glove.
And you tried to catch it?
I didn't try to, man, but good Lord. Any other news before we get going?
No, that's it, man. I mean, I'd really like to hear from some of the listeners.
Yeah.
You know, send us a comment. What's your 10 plus 1?
Yeah.
Give us some pointers. What are, like, when we do the summertime jams, now we got the one-hit wonders shows, you know, like what are some of those that they would like to see when we don't have a guest?
Yeah. Yeah, some topic ideas, something you'd like to add to the list. And just like...
general feedback.
Yeah, just send us some comments.
Like, subscribe, all those goodies.
All that good jazz. And with that, let's get started. Our one-hit wonders.
Yeah, dude.
All right, the first one on my list...
Oh, yeah. You guys can't see it, but now we got another screen in here.
Yeah, I got a monitor so I can see. So I'm like, where are we at again? Yeah. The first one on my list is a band called Civ. And Civ was made up with a bunch of members of Gorilla Biscuits. And if you listen to the first podcast we did, Gorilla Biscuits is one of my favorite bands. And then this is like Civ. And so it's Civ from Gorilla Biscuits, I think. I can't remember.
That was the dude's name?
Yeah, his name's like Anthony Civarelli or something like that. Yeah, and they made this. It's like a pop hardcore record. It's kind of the first one. It was the first time I saw anybody from my scene.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wasn't local. Like, I've met him before, but that was when I was an adult. But like, it was the first time of like, oh, these are hardcore guys. Other than Rage Against the Machine, I guess Zach De La Rocha was in a hardcore band before that. But this was like all these dudes that were like my heroes, and now on like mainstream. It was on the radio. It was on MTV. Remember they played like the MTV Beach House or something and all that jazz. You know, like nice. And yeah, and this was their big song off that. This whole record's awesome. It's really interesting. There haven't really been many like pop hardcore. Like there's pop punk, but like this is definitely still a hardcore album. And like all the lyrics, the beats, it's got good breakdowns, all that. But it's poppy and positive and awesome, and I love it. And the song is the big single off of that. It's called "Can't Wait 1 Minute More" by Civ. Let's give it a go.
Let's hit it. All right,
man. Civ.
Can't wait 1 minute more
from the Set Your Goals record. Yeah, it's a great record, and like I said, like it's like pop hardcore, which honestly I can't really think of anything else that would really fit that mold that I can think of that wouldn't, not pop punk, but pop hardcore.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. And yeah, Civ's like, all those dudes are like my heroes growing up, you know. And yeah, now Civ's, he's a tattoo artist. Gorilla Biscuit still plays shows. They just played here. Yeah, a couple months ago.
Waynesboro?
No.
Yeah.
Richmond.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw the last time they played CBGB's, I was at that show.
Nice.
And yeah, a bunch of old New York hardcore bands got back together to do like a series, like the last month that CBGB's was.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's where all this like began. And so I got to see a lot of bands that I thought I'd never get to see, but now they're all back together because now all '90s stuff is popular. Revival. So like all the old hardcore bands have been doing tours the past couple of years, which has been pretty rad.
Cargo shorts and wide-leg jeans.
Yeah, man.
Kind of like looking forward to all that again.
Yeah, I mean, it's already happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids are doing all sorts of 90s stuff. They're not doing it right, though. It doesn't look right.
There's a couple here and there. I'm seeing a couple of the girls nail it pretty good.
The girls nail it better than the guys. But even then, like, something's off. Maybe the hair or something isn't right. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
They got to make it their own.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when I was in high school, it was always like the 70s. Type stuff.
That came back big.
Yeah.
I'm sure that wasn't right either.
Yeah.
So, all right. What do you got?
What do I got, man? Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of stories about these. I was just like digging through all the one hits and was like, oh, I like that song, Very MTV-ish era of one hit wonders. Like you were saying earlier, like now everything's streaming and there's no real radio time. You know, so like how does it all work?
Yeah. I'm sure there's more one-hit wonders now. I just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You know.
But from growing up, like MTV is in the radio. You know, you just you always, and like we were saying earlier too, like you knew exactly who that person was. Like Lisa Loeb, maybe she has more, but like we definitely knew. Everyone knew who she was.
Yeah, like I'd know her if she walked in. I'd be like,
totally.
Lisa Loeb, was that you?
Because like we saw her on MTV all the time.
I bet she made an adorable older lady.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, I saw the chick from, I looked her up the other day, what's her name I asked you earlier, from Mazzy Star?
Hope Sandoval.
Yeah.
She
still looks
she's amazing. She's amazing. Yeah, I was wondering, because most of my one-hit wonders on this list are from the 90s. Mm-hmm. And also, but I mean, that's when I was listening to the radio. So
pretty much all of these are going to be, I think.
Some of mine aren't. Some of mine are older. But, yeah. But I would imagine every decade probably has about around the same amount. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's only so many weeks in a year when they do the radio charts or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But what do you got coming up?
I got What's Up for Non-Blondes. What's her name?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I was looking. Just totally blanked on it, too. I know there were stories.
I don't know a whole lot about For Non-Blondes. I loved this when it was out. And... but I don't think I ever... I may have seen
Linda Perry.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember the video. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Very 90s.
Yeah, I remember seeing them live a bunch on, like, Letterman and stuff at that time. I just thought they were so cool.
Yeah.
They were cool. They are cool.
Yeah, what's going on? You know?
Yeah, it was a good tune. I don't... Yeah, I was young. I remember. What year did this come out?
Let's see. 93.
Yeah, because this is like early, like Riot Girl-ish type of like alternative music.
Yeah, so I was like 10 years old,
Yeah,
seeing it on MTV, not
Yeah.
knowing anything about who they were.
Yeah.
Just like it's a pretty catchy song.
I was in high school, but I was like early high school.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give this. What is going on?
And the song's actually called What's Up,
Oh yeah,
but
It
they
is.
never say What's Up.
maybe I don't know. I haven't heard the song in ages.
Yeah.
I'm excited to listen to it again.
All right, let's hit it. All right.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Well, on a little train break. Yeah, that song's awesome. Yeah, we were just discussing like it's like a coming of age song for that that decade. Like I was a little older, but I was still like in that age of like I was just getting into my own stuff.
Yeah.
And like you were a little bit young, but you saw like
I saw my aunt getting into her own thing, yeah.
yeah, and it was just like this whole new music and
And the style of that period, too.
yeah, it's like
Thrift stores shopping was like starting.
yeah.
The grunge sort of vibe was starting.
Yeah. And
And the cool thing is now we're watching the videos.
yeah.
Typically, we play the songs off Spotify, but today we got new monitors. We're watching videos, and the style of that video is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely of the time. And a lot of layers and even like the rooms, you know, everything's just real artsy and everything. I love it. It's a good time. I miss those days. All right. So my next song, also this was kind of a coming of age. I don't remember what year this was. I'm guessing
Let's see what we got here.
I'm guessing
95.
90, oh, was that late?
Yeah,
I thought it
95.
was later than that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I remember pretty vividly being in middle school. I think I was probably like 7th grade.
Yeah.
Something like that. 7th, 8th grade.
yeah, the song was on all the time for at least a
All
summer.
the time. In the summer house.
Yeah.
The MTV summer house.
Yeah.
He played live. I remember that.
Yeah, and but I also I really felt the sentiment of this song at that age. It's called "I Wish" by Skee-Lo, and I felt every word that he was saying.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a young, goofy kid.
Yeah. Just wish you'd be just a little bit
Just
cooler.
a little bit
Just
better
a
than
little
this.
bit, yeah.
Like I could see where I'm at, and I'm not right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was all just like getting a girlfriend and like not getting punched in the stomach. You know, those cool things that I just wish I was just a little bit bigger and I could
Wish.
punch in the stomach. But yeah, I don't really have any good stories with this. I just remember the days. It was a good song, and yeah, I really felt his vibe. And then yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anything from him since. And for this being such a big song, it's kind of weird. I wonder, he may have like quit music or something. I don't know. Some people go through.
And sometimes, I was looking up some of the artists' one-hit wonder deals, and a lot of times they just can't handle the fame.
Mm-hmm.
It makes them and breaks them like all at once.
Yeah. I mean, I can totally imagine that. Especially if you've been doing it for a long time, just like on your own thing, and then just all of a sudden you're this, and you're like, wait, I was cool before.
Yeah.
I was happy where I was doing before. And then also, yeah, if you are a one-hit wonder, like, what, I got to play this song for the rest of my life? That's kind of...
It was summer '95, and then it was 5 years later he came and did a follow-up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so that's 95. So 2000 he came out with something?
No idea.
It wasn't.
It wasn't this good.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't this good. Yeah, so yeah, great song, great video. I haven't seen it since then, but
I just
we're gonna
remember the
watch it in a minute.
basketball court, yeah.
Yeah, I remember being very bright and just like cool. I remember cool cars. And yeah. You got anything to add to this one?
No, man, I'm excited to see this video again. I don't think I've seen it in 20 years.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
I'm excited. All right.
Skee-Lo.
Skee-Lo, I
wish.
wish.
All right.
All right. Skee-Lo, man. Yeah. I also haven't seen that video in ages. probably since 1996. And yeah, it's great. It's everything I remember. It's weird when you see things, like, I don't know the quality. Like, was the quality like that back then and I just remember it being super clear? Or is that something because it's old, like it got transferred, it was on tape or something like that?
No,
you know
because that was good quality.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it. Like,
yeah, but in my head, it was like so bright and so clear and everything, and it's interesting.
Yeah,
It's
that was the good quality.
Yeah.
Man. So
I think unless it gets like remastered or something, because you can remaster.
oh yeah, I mean you can
videos and
upsample and everything to, that's standard definition is probably like 720p. It's not even high def. Then you got, then you got 1080. Then you got like 2K, which is like 20 something or whatever, and then you got 4K. So I mean, it's like that's a fourth of the quality that we have now.
Yeah, and yeah, actually, Sheila and I a couple weeks ago ran across like a Simply Red video from the '80s that had been remastered in 4K, and it looked unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't understand how that works.
So now, a lot of AI
Okay.
is doing it, because what you're having to do, you're having to make up pixels that weren't there.
Okay. I understand. I'm following.
Yeah. So like, if you have 1 inch and there's just say there's 4 pixels in 1 inch or whatever, for even math, and you take that to be a foot.
Right.
Like those 4 pixels, like, I don't know, you got to like make up pixels. You're going to miss everything. So
yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's just interesting. Especially because even like video games or something, I'll be like, oh yeah, the graphics were so great on that. And then I look it up or
same
something.
thing,
it's not how I
NES was
remember it.
8-bit, Super Nintendo was 16-bit. Then you get to, 8, 16, 32, then you get N64. And now everything, I guess, is 4K, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And, because I haven't been doing bits since, I guess, the PlayStation, once they started doing, I think the bits were like the cartridge ones.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, now everything's streaming.
Yeah.
And it's just all on 4K. And 4K is big. Like true size 4K.
Yeah.
And it's big.
Yeah. I don't get it. But nonetheless,
anyway,
it was a great video and it still looked good. Video. And yeah, I just miss those days, man. We were talking earlier, I feel like all 90s music was just meant for riding bicycles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it was all meant for riding bicycles in the summer at like dusk.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like,
or a really fucking hot summer day and you got like a popsicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going over to your friend's house.
Do something you're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah. All right. What do you got coming up?
Yeah, man. So this one popped up. I mean, I took that drive down to Lynchburg this morning. So I was in the car for like a couple of hours down, a couple of hours back. I was just listening to some One Hit Wonder playlist. This one came on. Honestly, I always thought it was Shaggy. Just like in my mind, just like a song. I never knew anything about the song, but I definitely know the song.
Yeah.
And then when I said it, I just told you the name of the song. You knew exactly who it was.
Yeah, I
but,
remember this.
in my mind, I was like, Shaggy or whatever. No idea.
Aini Kamosi. I don't even know if that's how you say it. That's just how I said it back then.
Aini Kamosi looks good to me.
And
here comes the hot stepper.
Yeah, this was huge.
When was this?
Yeah, what year was this?
This was...
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't play enough of this song, boy. It was like... And like everybody's like entrance music, like comedians and all sorts of stuff was the hot stepper.
Dude, this was 1983.
No.
That's what it says.
No, that's not right. I'm not
This
arguing.
says, for Aini Kamosi, the road to success has been arduous and he has undergone many substantial changes musically and physically since he burst into the music scene in 1983 with his highly successful debut album for Island known as The Hot Stepper. Maybe that was
Maybe that's when he like recorded it or something, but like that was definitely that was a 1983 song.
Oh, here's the. Okay, so I guess his nickname was the Hot Stepper. And his first album in '83 was called Hot Stepper.
Gotcha.
But this song is Here Comes the Hot Stepper, 1994.
94. That makes a lot more sense.
10 years later.
Yeah, yeah. So he had been at it for a long time before he got this hit here. But also, yeah, because people weren't really listening to like reggae stuff that much until the 90s. It had like a big. That's when I first started hearing it. Was the early 90s because kids got into like the 70s stuff, and so it was. Everybody had like weed stuff and Rastafari stuff. So, I mean, I'm not saying nobody listened to reggae, but it wasn't like that popular. All right, dude. Let's do some Hot Stepper.
Hot Stepper.
Yeah.
Was it? Eine
Kamosi.
Kamosi. All right.
Yeah, man.
That's a jam.
So good.
That's a summertime jam, too, you know?
Yeah, that could have been on our summertime jams. Who did the Bad Boys song? It wasn't him, I don't think. From Cops? I can't remember who the heck that was. Because that had to be even, that was way before this.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
That had to be way before. Because that was like on the radio, I think, before I heard it on Cops. But Cops started, that had to be like late 80s.
Yeah, Cops was so good.
Yeah.
That was when like Fox was the shit.
Yeah, Fox was shit. It was like Married with Children, X-Files, Cops. Simpsons. Yeah.
And Living Color.
Yeah.
Yeah. That era of Fox TV was the best.
So much fun.
And you had to like schedule your life.
Yeah.
There was no...
Yeah, if you missed In Living Color, you didn't get anybody's jokes on Monday, man. You didn't get anybody's jokes. Because that's all anybody was doing was quoting.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you something. Whatever.
Who all was on? Like, everyone was on there in Living Color. That was the...
I mean, it was the Wayans brothers. And then Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And
J-Lo was a fly girl.
Yeah, but
nobody knew who she was.
I wouldn't really count
she
that.
was just there.
What was that other guy's? Not Michael Ethan Hall. But he had like a 3-name.
Keenan Ivory Wayne.
No. I'm picturing him in my head, but I can't remember who he was. What his name was. If you said it, I'd be like, yeah, that's the guy, but I can't remember. But yeah, that was a good time. That was a good summer that came out. And same thing, skateboarding, riding bicycles.
Yeah, jumping the bikes with a center block and a piece of board of some sort.
Yeah, that song was at every pool party, every cookout. Yeah, like I said, I grew up at the beach and like the strip, just like dudes playing it, and while they're riding around. All right.
Okay, your next one's also from 1993. We got a really early 90s vibe going so far.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because, like I said, this was like I was into hardcore in the early 90s, but I still like watched MTV when I came home from school. Even though I didn't like most of it, it was still on. But this, it kind of goes with I Wish. This song, these guys just came out of nowhere. I don't even know anything about them. I know they're from England.
Us Three.
Yeah, it's called Us Three, and the song is called Cantaloupe. And it just came up and did its thing for a summer or whatever, and I never heard it again.
Yeah. But you would know it as Flip Fantasia.
Yeah, it was such a good song. I loved it so much. And I really miss, like, jazzy hip-hop of the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of dudes that still do it, but I just don't run across it. Like, it was just... Especially, like, it wasn't just samples. It was like samples, but you could play it live. And I'm sure all this is all samples of something. I don't know what it's from. But, I know nothing about these guys. Us Three, I remember their name, but...
That's the whole point of a one-hit wonder show, I think.
Yeah.
You're not really... If we know a lot about these guys, or any of the guys on this list, they probably have more than one hit.
Yeah. But this definitely has, like, a European vibe. Like, if they were, like, French... or something, I wouldn't be surprised. Like just the way the song plays out. And yeah, it's just cool.
That's it.
Let's do
Us
it.
three.
Us three.
Cantaloupe. All right, man.
Yeah,
Solid.
good stuff. And it just has such a good like vibe to it, you know, and
Feel good.
yeah, but feel
Happy.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like remember we were saying earlier about a while ago about stuff just like oozing cool. Like this is like jazz and hip hop and poetry, and like it was all at that time when like things just felt like they're really coming up.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, it was just super smooth and slick, and yeah, even like the way he's dressed, and like it's just cool.
Everything you wanted to be at some point, yeah.
Yeah. All right, what do we got from you?
All right, man. I think this one goes down in probably the top 10 or so one-hit wonder songs.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone's heard the song. First song that ever played on MTV. Was before I was born.
Before you were born, huh?
Yeah. MTV came out in like 1980.
Was it 80? I thought it was 82 in my head.
80 or 82. It's still before 83. I was born in 83, so.
Yeah, that's wild.
But I've always just known this song as the first song to ever play on MTV.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah, that MTV really changed the game, didn't they?
Yeah,
they were
they
up to
did.
something.
Right? Buggles. I guess that's...
I never knew that was the name of the band that did this.
Mm-hmm. I've always known Video Killed the Radio Star and Buggles. I think from watching MTV, and it's just always was talked about, and like their anniversary, Kurt Loder, MTV News type stuff, like however many years anniversaries, like it always was talked about.
Yeah. Because I remember this song on the radio a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when I first saw MTV, but it had to be, probably soon thereafter it came out. Because I remember the video of this.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd seen that later or what. But I don't, like if you had asked me, do you know who does this song? I'd say, yeah, I do. I just can't think of it. But then I would have never thought the Buggles.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever even heard that before, but I must have.
August 1st, 1981.
81, huh?
1981, August 1st. So we're coming up on, what is that? How many years?
A lot.
Yeah. 42.
Yeah.
MTV anniversary next week.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, they had like the biggest thing on the planet, changed everything forever, and now it's just...
Now it's reality shows.
Yeah, just fucking teenage moms.
Teenage moms?
That are in their 40s now. Yeah, like Teen Mom, and it's all these old ladies. And, yeah, I mean, I don't watch a lot of MTV, but I guess they still have... I mean, there's like MTV, like... There's like a video channel I have on my TV that plays music videos.
Yeah.
That's MTV. So they're still doing something. It's just not their main, like, 3 channels or whatever.
Yeah. My first trip to New York was 2001. And I just graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like June, July 2001. First time. And then going to Times Square, MTV, when they had TRL, MTV and all that was right there on Times Square.
Were you on it?
Yes. I wasn't inside, but like outside, and I didn't have a sign. I think I like took my t-shirt off or something and like was writing on it and was like, "Hey Carson, let me up,"
That's
sort
funny.
of a deal.
Yeah.
And then of course when we would get home later that day, because it's all films early, but then airs later. It airs later, so watched it and we were like, "Oh shit! Look!"
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the Carson Daly show, not the TRL, but like the Carson Daly show. It was on like 1 a.m. I think I went like 2 or 3 times.
In the audience?
Yeah, because he would have like good bands on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the early 2000s. So I went and saw the Hives there. First time they came to the States. Well, it wasn't the first time they came to the States, but it was like the second time they came to the States. And some other like European band that I was into, some Scandinavian. I don't remember which. But yeah, I think I went 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because he was on, that show was on at like 1 a.m. or something. So, and I believe that he has a good taste in music. And
Yeah,
like
I mean, he
underground
introduced
stuff.
a lot of bands to mainstream.
Yeah.
I think Carson Daly himself,
Yeah.
because like, yeah, with the show,
Yeah. And
that was where you saw things for the first time.
Yeah, I've heard like I just know a lot of musicians and a lot of people that some are famous, some were famous for a minute. Like they've all said that like he'll show up at shows and stuff, weird times.
Scouting.
Yeah. So yeah, I just always thought he was just some turd.
What is he doing now? Isn't he like
painting his nail black?
Well, that's always been the case.
Yeah.
Isn't he like a talk show, like mainstream, like morning show or something? Somewhere?
No idea. I think he probably has a music show somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he, like, if I like hung out with him, chances are we'd probably be pals, and that's weird for me to think about, because I hated him so long, because I hated TRL and all that stuff.
Yeah.
By the time that was on, I was like over any mainstream.
Too cool. You're way too cool.
Nah, I was dumb. I mean, I was.
Yeah.
But I wasn't actually cool. But I was just into.
You're way
like,
too cool
I was
for
just like, this isn't
anything.
real. I didn't like fake music, and that's what it sounded like to me.
Oh, just that era of music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just sounded like everything was just like manufactured popularity, which it always has been. That's just when I realized it. So
Yeah.
Carson Daly was the face of that in my brain. But I'm sure we'd be pals if we hung out.
All right, Carson, if you're ever in Waynesboro, Virginia,
Yeah.
swing by Blanc Creative.
Swing by.
We'll go take you out for a beer, man.
I'll paint my nail black.
Ooh, will you?
Party, dude. Yeah, why not?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, the Buggles.
Buggles.
Let's do it. Yeah, man, that's good. I remember that song being on the radio, and I've seen that video before many times, but I think it was probably later, like when they're like, "Yeah, this is." But yeah, it's interesting. Like, I mean, the '80s was so, especially the early '80s, was so about like the future and, you know.
Yeah, this was 1980.
Yeah. But then they're dressed like an 80s version of the 60s, you know, like skinny ties and like the suits and like even like the instruments they were playing was very 60s style, but with like in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. And yeah, VCRs and all the stuff, like all the giant computers and the tapes rolling, and that was done soon.
Yesterday we were at the thrift store, and there was a reel-to-reel box. It was cool. It was like reel-to-reel with built-in speakers. So like as a cabinet, when you open up the cabinet, you had the reel-to-reel and then speakers on each side.
Nice.
Super cool, but I think it was like $500.
Yeah. And if it even works.
Yeah, and it had a couple of reels, and it was like mixtape reels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was like it was like Hank Jr. and Tammy Wynette.
Nice.
It was like a little mix and handwritten on there.
Yeah.
Rakasha saw it. She was like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Real." I mean, that was the hi-fi set.
Yeah,
like,
that's how you had like good sound.
Yeah.
Like if you went to like a rich person's house,
they had the real.
That's what was going on. And yeah, I mean, even I remember like doing my friends' records and stuff. Like I did like backups on some of my friends' like hardcore records and stuff, and that was all still reel to reel back then. That's how you record it.
Yeah.
And then you digitize it, but it still had like the best sound.
Yeah.
And they were even then they were still using like old tapes, so it's like recorded over stuff. So sometimes like
Oh, you have the artifacts coming through?
Yeah. So like there's old like hardcore records and stuff I remember that you could hear something else in the background
Nice.
of who knows what.
Yeah.
You know. And yeah, on like a quiet part or like in between tracks or something. Like if it wasn't like done well enough. I mean, it was just high school kids and whatever you could find to record you. All right.
Hey, that's the name
Speaking
of
of
the next
which, that's the
song.
name of this next song. This next song is called All Right. It's by Supergrass. I went through a bit of a Britpop phase. Britpop in late 90s, early 2000s. And these guys were great. I remember seeing their video on MTV. So they make the list for me. Yeah, I don't know how big the song was in the States now that I think about it. But I do know that they were on the Clueless soundtrack, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
What type of grass is supergrass?
It's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, they're British. I believe they're from like Oxford or something like that. Yeah, this is mid 90s, I'm guessing. Yeah, they got a bunch of other great songs, but this was like their big hit that made it in the States. And yeah, just reminds me of the 90s.
This was 95.
95?
This album, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think this may be their first record, maybe their second. I don't really remember, but they had a bunch more afterwards, and I'm sure they had more hits in the UK. I'm sure they weren't a one-hit wonder in the UK, but here I think this is probably the only one that really made it big that I can think of. I might be incorrect, but I wanted to play it, and so we're gonna.
Let's do it.
It's called All Right by Supergrass. All right.
All right.
Supergrass. Yeah, man, just fun. The video's great. Yeah, I was saying it's got a very like Kinks vibe or like one of those weird Beatles movies or super British. Just goofy lads doing goofy lad things.
Goofy lad things.
And yeah, I love that. I love that song. The Clueless soundtrack is fantastic. I'd heard this before that, but it's a good mix of like that could be like a whole playlist just stuff off of that. It's good stuff on there.
So it'd basically be like the soundtrack.
Yeah, you're right about that. You don't have to do that. You can just do the soundtrack. All right, on to the next song.
All right, this is another one of those just ultimate one-hit wonders. Soft Cell, Tainted Love.
Oh, nice.
We're going to watch the video, but I don't really remember the video. I know the song. And then, what was it? Was it Apple or Dell or... They used it in a commercial at some point.
I don't recall. I mean, I know the song. I must have seen the video. I just can't remember it. I'm sure once we see it, I'll remember it. But
yeah, who was the? Maybe it was even a Volkswagen commercial. I remember they used it in a commercial at some point.
Okay.
And that's probably
That, like,
when
bop,
I
bop.
first heard it.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We're about to watch the video. See if it brings back any memories. But
yeah, I mean, I remember this being on the radio.
Yeah, and I think everyone knows the song.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Yeah, I'm sure even the young people have heard it before.
Yeah, and this is one of those too. It's like Soft Cell sings "Tainted Love."
Yeah,
but I've never heard anything else.
I don't think I have. I may have. There might be one or two I've heard, but not that I can pull out of my hat.
So,
all right,
let's get it.
Let's do it. Tainted Love. Tainted Love.
It's a song I think everyone will know.
Great
and
song.
We just found out it's a cover.
Yeah,
1964.
I don't think I've heard the original.
What did I say? Gloria Jones?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard the original. And if I did...
This was also reworked.
I may have thought it was like a soul version of the song. Because there's a lot of stuff out there, too, of like soul versions of like Beatles songs and whatnot, But yeah, it's good. I always wondered, like, how did like synth pop duos, like, how did you break in? Like, it's weird. It was such a big thing of like synth pop stuff and but like, where were they playing? Like, I guess just like clubs and stuff, and then you write a single and that goes or it doesn't. Like all those synth 80s bands. Like, I don't even know how you write music like that. It's so weird and...
Yeah. I don't either. It's fun. Corey has the little MIDI controller, and his brother plays keys and does all the synth stuff. And I was wondering about that, like, because you're always changing it, but is it staying in the musical structure? I guess it has to, but it's just different tones and sounds, or is it just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there like chord progression in synth work so like you can remember how to play it?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never used anything like that. I mean, I've messed around with stuff like that, but I've never used it like as an instrument. Like, this is my
And
instrument.
the original
become
synthesizers are fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Because
they
now
were
it's
so
like
cool.
the MIDI controllers and things, it's all digital and you're playing keys.
Yeah.
But like a true synthesizer, like all the knobs, and you just keep changing all the knobs, and that's how you get those tones. So like then you got to know this song, these 20 knobs all have to be these exact things, and then a play.
Yeah, and you could also on those synthesizers, you could kind of use it like you could have like these 5 keys up here make weird sounds that I can just like I'm not going to use these.
Yeah,
you can like set them to like whatever, and like a whole other instrument. So you could play like 2 different, 3, who knows how many.
Yeah,
just in those certain scales.
It seems extremely complicated.
Yeah, but I mean, if that's your instrument and you become a master at it, or just that's what you do. I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, harmonica seems very complicated to be great at it.
Yeah.
It's easy to play, but not to be good at it. Yeah. It's easy to be annoying on it.
You got to be named John Poplar.
Yeah, or something.
Popper. Yeah, Popper.
Yeah, I had a harmonica for a while, but it's hard to not annoy your roommates.
Oh,
Train time.
Yeah, Elena has a harmonica. She loves it.
Yeah. It's definitely cool, but there's such a...
What?
Yeah, you got to like be able to play in the woods away from people for like a year before you come back.
Just like a drum set.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, what do we got next? Okay. So this song is a very weird one, but I love it. The song is called Hocus Pocus, and the band is called Focus. And you may or may not have heard it. It was big. I think it was real high up on the U.S. charts in like the 70s, early 70s.
I would just know like Hocus Pocus, but Focus.
Yeah. And their other songs are weird and proggy. I mean, this is weird and proggy, but I like it. And it's got some like good riffs. They're Dutch. I know that. And other than that, I really don't know a lot else about them. I've listened to some other music, but it's not stuff that I like. But this song I love. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, again, I don't know like how they got big in the States, why this one weird song got big, but it did. And I like it. And if you ever watch like them playing live back then, the keyboard player singer makes the craziest faces of all time.
I don't think there's an actual video. Only thing I'm seeing on YouTube is live footage.
Yeah.
It's all from like 73.
Yeah, when he gets whistling, it gets real wild, and it's fun to watch. So I suggest you guys watch the video of Focus by Hocus Pocus. No, Hocus Pocus by Focus.
All right, let's check it out.
Let's run it. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. Like, you gotta see them playing live in that video. It's so
whatever you're doing right now, stop it.
Yeah.
Driving, pull over, whatever you're doing, just like watch that video.
The Midnight Special on VH1. That's the one.
Hilarious.
It's so good.
So good.
And yeah, I mean that song's got everything. It's got yodeling. It's got rock flute.
Yeah, rock
It's got scatting.
Yeah.
It's got a guy about to burst his brain vessels out of his eyeballs through whistling at such a high pitch.
And I'm sure he was stone cold sober.
Oh, yeah, he had to be.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
He oozes soberness.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's such a good song. And, yeah, I mean, I think they're still playing. I think they're still doing stuff all these years later. But, yeah, all the other, maybe there's some other good tunes they got, but all the rest of it was stuff it's just a style. I don't really like prog music that much, but this one is a jam. And, yeah, but it's always like if you find like a rock mix from the 70s, the song is often on there. And I hear it on the radio from time to time still. Not that often, but every now and again. And yeah, that's about all I got for Focus. Dutch Madmen.
Focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. Let's take it to a different energy. I mean, so I don't know. It's like I'm speechless. I just
I mean, had you heard that song? Do you know that song?
No, I mean, I'm sure I've heard it. I think I've heard Hocus Pocus by Focus more than I've heard
the actual song.
The actual song.
Gotcha.
But that was I could never seen it live or the video.
Yeah, I was telling Corey, like, sometimes if I can't, like, get motivated like, or, like, out of bed in the morning, I'll watch that.
I don't think that dude had a problem with motivation doing anything.
No, he was raring to go. Couple toots, get cruising.
Hit it.
Yeah. So, what song you got?
Yeah, man. Steelers Wheel. Stuck in the middle with you.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just a solid song. I just always think of Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, it's in that.
Yeah. Such a gnarly scene in Reservoir Dogs, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the best scenes in film, in my opinion. Yeah, Jerry Rafferty. That's the guy from Steelers Wheel. He had a couple.
I know the name, so he had some solo stuff for sure, right?
Yeah, he had
what
Baker Street is one that I love, and then the other one's one of my favorite jams. It's like a song that me and Sheila like together, but for the love of me, I can't. It's not coming to me right now. Shoot, what is it? Yeah, look it up for me real quick.
Which one?
Jerry Rafferty.
Yeah, Jerry Rafferty, Baker Street. Jerry Rafferty.
Yeah, Right Down the Line. That's the one. That song I love. And yeah, like I definitely want to. I always wanted to cover that song at some point, Right Down the Line, like a little faster. And but I love it. Yeah, this Steelers Wheel song, for some reason, like the YouTube algorithm for all the music I listen to, like from 60s to now, it's just like YouTube decided that that's my favorite song.
It's a
because
solid
it's always
song.
in the sidebar.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I listen to a lot of 60s stuff, a lot of 70s stuff, and like, it's just like, of all the music you like, this is the number, because like, it's always in the sidebar.
It fits everything.
Yeah, and I do. I love this song. Yeah, Eagles of Death Metal does a cover of this. It's really good.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know a whole lot about Steelers Wheel actually. I've heard other songs of theirs, but again, like this is by far.
And I never knew it was Steelers Wheel until Reservoir Dogs, and it's on the radio.
Yeah.
And the guy's talking about the Dylan-esque. I always thought it was Dylan. And the guy on the radio is like, the Dylan-esque.
Yeah. That's
oh shit, that's not Dylan.
It was like Uncle Billy Sounds of the 70s or something like that. All right, Stuck in the Middle with You.
Let's hit it.
Yeah, man, that is a jam.
Solid jam.
Yeah, that could have been on our summertime jams too. That's a windows down.
Totally.
I speed up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just great tune.
And that video, we watched it twice. Watched the Reservoir Dogs scene, but also the video. The video's legit.
Yeah, it's so of its time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, again, clearly sober dudes.
Clearly sober dudes.
I'm pretty sure the drummer did not know they were making a video. He just thought they met
that
some
one
characters.
long-haired guy.
Yeah, he was the drummer.
Oh, that was the drummer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he was just like, I don't know, man. We just met these weird folks.
Yeah, having a good dinner.
Yeah. And yeah. And then, yeah, Right Down the Line, that other Jerry Rafferty song is so smooth and slick. You've heard it.
Yeah.
And it's just like a beautiful song. And yeah, I sing it to Sheila sometimes when she doesn't like it. She likes the song, but.
Oh, she doesn't like when you sing it to her.
Yeah, because I sing to her too much.
Okay.
When I'm in certain moods, she's trying to work.
Yeah.
And
you're trying to not work.
And I'm like in my underwear.
Yeah.
Dancing around singing Thin Lizzy or Jerry Rafferty. I can understand her position, but I mean, come on, it's not all the time. She puts up with me. All right. So this is my last one.
And this is the second time this is played in 10+1.
Oh, we'd played it before?
Pretty sure it was on Walker's, was it not?
It may have been. Oh, you're right. I think he did play it.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
song number 3 on Walker's
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, and I probably talked that they were a one-hit wonder. And
Yeah.
But yeah, I guarantee. Yeah.
But it is like you always say, name another Ram Jam song.
Yeah. Yeah, Ram Jam. I don't know why they weren't bigger.
Because we looked it up, and I think we had to listen to Walker's because we had a whole look up Wikipedia
Okay.
rundown
Yeah.
on Ram Jam.
Yeah, because I know they're from New York. I know they have a bunch of albums, and I mean, this one it's still the best, but their other songs are good. And, yeah, but I mean, I don't know, like, how this New York City band became, like, the sound of Southern rock, but...
One guy played with Billy Joel.
Yeah.
And then we've had this conversation. We'll have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, that was a while ago in real life. But yeah. And this, I think, I don't remember hearing, I probably said this before, but I don't remember hearing this song as a kid. Like, I don't remember hearing it until later, like the 90s or something, like late 90s. And I don't know if I just don't remember it or what. But now it's like, you hear it all the time on like all sorts of Southern things, like NASCAR races and any sort of Southern thing. I remember it was in the Dukes of Hazzard movie.
It was the opening scene to Blow.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was opening scene to Blow.
Yeah. And, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing, like a lot of...
They do have a very best of Ram Jam album.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'll have to look and see if I can find that.
10 versions of...
Yeah, no, their other songs are all right. But yeah, it doesn't... There were a lot of New York bands in the 70s that were like playing Southern rock. Because like, even like the Ramones, they were doing like their version of Southern rock. Like they dressed like at the time of like, that's how rednecks dressed. Like people didn't dress like the Ramones except in the South, like tight jeans, leather jackets, you know, like that was all like, wearing tight jeans was a redneck thing back then. And so, like, yeah, they all wanted to be Aerosmith. Even though Aerosmith wasn't from the South. They're from freaking Boston. And, but yeah, it's just weird how that happens.
So Black Betty on Spotify has 367 million listens. The next one behind it of theirs has 2 million listens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I suggest you check it out. Their other stuff isn't bad. It's good. It's just like kind of generic, like 70s rock. But it's pretty good. But also, this song's also a cover. This is an old song from like, it's like an old, I know like Leadbelly did it. I've heard that version. That had to be, what, like the 30s or something.
Yeah, it was a 59 seconds long, Leadbelly's version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like an old, and it was before him. It was I know I've heard that version, and yeah, it was like a farm working song.
Yeah, African American work song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting we have this thing.
Yeah, credited to Leadbelly.
Okay. Oh, maybe he did write it. I thought it was before him, but yeah.
Numerous versions of acapella and folk. And then 77, Ram Jam.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Jones did it.
Yeah, I've heard that version too. But yeah, Black Betty. It goes well with just about anything. And let's do it. Yeah, Black Betty. And I've seen the video before, but just when we were sitting here talking, like, I wonder if it's almost like kind of parody.
It almost looks like it could be.
Yeah.
They're definitely going over the top.
Yeah, because they're New York City. Like, that's like where they're all, and like 1977, that's just rampant with disco. And it's kind of late for like the more popular Southern rock stuff that would have been doing this. So, because I'm just wondering like why their other stuff didn't get big. Because it's still good. It's just not like that's a jam.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I never really put a whole lot of thought into it, but it almost seemed a little parody to me. And I just never, and I've seen that video 100 times. I've just never really like thought about it in that way. But Anyway, it's a good tune. It's now forever a Southern rock anthem.
From the New York guys.
Yeah, from
Hey, I mean,
NYC.
something about we had a New York City president that was loved in the South, too. So
Yeah.
there's something going on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they would get along a lot more than they think
Yeah.
as a Southerner that lived 20 years in New York City. Yeah, cool. And so this is our last one. This is your last
My
one.
plus one. So we had 12 today, right?
Yeah.
So 10 plus 2, 5 plus 1 times 2.
Yeah. However, it'll get there.
Yeah, man, take my breath away. Berlin.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you've said there's other hits from Berlin. I don't know. I consider him a one-hit wonder, for sure.
Yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I'm almost positive there's some other ones.
This is definitely a huge hit.
Yeah, this was Top Gun soundtrack.
Top Gun soundtrack. It's funny because I can't count how many times I've watched Top Gun.
Same here.
It's like an awesome movie, and so many times when I was, younger and single and stuff, just like put movies on, have it in the background. Top Gun was definitely one of those. Kasha does not like watching movies more than once.
Really?
She doesn't like visiting a city more than once. This is just like, there's so many things out there. Why do anything like more than once?
No, I get that.
And I respect it. But I can usually get her to watch Top Gun once a year.
Nice.
Yeah. And
it's the volleyball scene, really.
Yeah, probably. There is one movie that she will actually choose to watch more than once, and that's Dirty Dancing.
Oh, yeah.
So she'll actually choose to watch that. And usually about once a year we watch Dirty Dancing and Top Gun. And then about once every 5 years we do the full on run the whole series of Northern Exposure. You got the box set. You ever watch that?
I've seen it, but I never watched it. I watched that first episode of Wings the other day.
Oh,
always
yeah?
remind me of.
Okay.
They were out around the same time.
Yeah, I never watched Wings.
Yeah, it was just on Paramount or something. I was like, I never got into it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it. But I would like to watch Northern Exposure. Yeah. It's funny that you said Dirty Dancing because that was my mom's favorite movie. So I had to watch it 1,000 times because our first 3 VHS tapes were Dirty Dancing, Ghostbusters, and Top Gun.
Yeah.
So
it's a solid trilogy.
Yeah. And Katja, did she grow up with like VCR tapes and stuff? Like, I think we watched the same movies over and over because we had the tape.
We had the tapes, yeah. Not so much, I don't think. She had, I think there was like 3 channels or something. And then when American movies were ever played in Poland, they're always dubbed over. And they still do that now.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's like, just make the film silent and have actors act the voices in the different language. But it's like, they just play the movie in English, and then there's one guy just reading the script.
They don't take the sound out.
No. So it's like,
Lord.
you hear it in English, and then there's one guy speaking in Polish, reading the script. So he's doing the male voice, the female voice, and he's just reading the script.
So he's not even acting.
No, he's just reading.
That's
and it's just
wild.
And that's a conversation between 2 people.
Yeah.
But you can hear the English under it.
Yeah. That's annoying.
Oh, it's so annoying. And it's still that way now.
That's super weird.
But she would get a couple of, some American movies would come.
Yeah, because everywhere else dubbed stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, even in like those like 70s and 80s like Italian films, they would, even though they were speaking Italian, they'd still like overdub it.
Yeah.
Because it was like easier to record, like you couldn't get good sound or something. I don't know why, but like it would still be, even if it's in Italian, it's like overdubbed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's odd. Yeah, it's like low effort, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Take My Breath Away.
Okay. And then, dude, a couple of weeks ago we watched Maverick.
I haven't seen it yet.
Have you not?
No, I heard it's great.
Fucking so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And I guess I heard a lot of mixed reviews when it first came out. Either you're on like one side of the fence or the other. It's a great movie or it doesn't live up to be a sequel sort of a situation. But I think they do a good job. It's a totally different storyline. You know, it's like...
It shouldn't be good. I was positive it was going to be terrible. And then I heard from everyone saying it was great.
It is so good.
Like doing a sequel with this like 60-year-old man.
So good.
But I mean, it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's probably really flying the jet.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like... It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I got to see it. Like, I'm definitely down. Like, when I first heard they were doing it, I was like, that's dumb. Like, 30 years later.
Yeah.
And, but yeah.
But it takes place 30 years later, and it's a whole lifetime away, and...
Yeah. Yeah, I know nothing about it, really.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see it eventually. All right.
This is the... When was this playing in the movie? This is when she was like in the Porsche 356, and it's like going. She like jumps the little hill.
Yeah, this was during the love scene.
Yeah,
like the silhouetted.
Was it that one? I thought there was.
It may have been more than once.
Yeah, like when she was in the Porsche and she's like coming like towards the end of the movie, right? She like does the little that badass black Porsche 356.
Yeah, I mean it may have been there too. I haven't seen it in so long, even though I've seen it 100 times. No, I think that was right before the love scene because she takes off and then he follows her on the bike.
Yeah.
And then they
get it. So I think that's when it starts.
Then they must have got married because otherwise, how would they have made love?
Yeah.
But why didn't they show the wedding? That's odd.
Because I'm sure Maverick was a good Christian boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to watch Top Gun again. I haven't seen it forever.
I have the DVD.
Oh yeah.
But also you can just stream it.
Yeah, you can just stream it. All right. Berlin, Take My Breath Away. Let's do it.
Boom.
Bam. Yeah, great tune, great movie. Yeah, great memories of that. I did remember their other song. Remember that song, Metro? Riding on the Metro. It was another
I know that song.
That's Berlin.
That was Berlin?
Yeah.
Ah.
So, still counts. But
Okay.
I knew there was at least another one that they were famous for. Yeah, that's a good tune, too.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Take My Breath Away has got 348 million listens, and the Metro has 5 million listens.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, that's such a good tune. Yeah, anyway, this was fun.
Yeah, this was a good one, man. I like these just like basically radio shows.
Yeah, and it was hot in here, but it could be worse. Anything we got coming up?
Life.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend's going to be hot. I'm going to try and get out on my motorcycle a little bit. But not today.
Nice.
I'm just going home.
Yeah, we'll see when this one comes out. You know, I think, and if people make it this far through the podcast, hopefully by the time this comes out, we've got a little more content creation going on.
Yeah.
You know, something we're working on at Blanc, just getting more stuff out to you guys.
Yeah, more stuff for you to enjoy. Yeah, oddly enough, a bunch of old blacksmiths aren't that great at
filming themselves
social
doing
media
stuff all the time. Yeah.
But we're working on it. And big thing, we're trying to get more like stuff out to you guys. And but please, like we said before, let us know.
Some feedback.
Yeah, leave us some comments. You can comment on my ashy legs this week.
Ooh.
But it's too hot for jeans. And yeah.
Did you ever think you'd say that in your punk rock days?
No.
Too hot for jeans.
No. Yeah, I didn't wear shorts until like 5 years ago.
Nice.
I mean, I did when I was little, but once I was like a teenager. Yeah, I did wear shorts for a little bit, but it was the 90s, so they were enormous and down here. It doesn't really count. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that is Chip.
Thank you guys very much. And we'll see you next week. Hit it. I got a little sip left. Bam. Yeah, that was fun. There's that temperature right there. Inside out. It's a young.
So, yeah, me and